We unfortunately record on Mondays often, and Ronny Chieng dropped his new special Speakeasy the Tuesday after we recorded last week. So we're getting to this a little bit late, but we wanted to talk about it because I think Ronny Chieng is a comedian that is on our radar, someone that
Mhm.
I think is a rising star. We just saw him in a Marvel movie,
Yeah.
Shang-Chi, recently. So as he talks about in the special.
Also in
So
Crazy Rich Asians, definitely foraying into Hollywood
so
beyond The Daily Show.
his star is on the rise, and I really liked all I liked all the specials I've seen from him prior to this. He's a comedian that's appeared on the Daily Show. I think he has at least one of the Netflix specials, if not
Right.
two. So he's been one of my. I wouldn't say like someone I listen to all the time, but every time he puts something, out, I want to watch it. So he's up there for me on the comedy list. I gotta say, Speakeasy did not deliver for me the way that I thought it was going to. I think he definitely leans into social commentary um, a lot in this, and
Mm.
doesn't always necessarily, I think, deliver on the jokes in it. But I'm wondering if maybe I'm just a curmudgeon for comedy recently, and maybe you found this to be a little bit funnier.
No, I agree overall. His first Netflix special, Asian Comedian Destroys America, exclamation point, from 2019. Definitely like that one a lot more. Speakeasy, it's not that he doesn't try, but I just don't think he ends up like bringing all his jokes or anecdotes back around in like an interesting way. The second half of the special just kind of felt a bit meandering to me, and that's just kind of unfortunate given what stand up I have seen this year. Like Aziz. It's not that Aziz is a nightclub comedian was super focused either, but I just thought his observations were a lot more
Poignant.
poignant and interesting as observations, right? And obviously, Rothaniel is we spoke eloquently about that last week, very acclaimed, right? Completely different than this. So yeah, I mean, I just don't think Speakeasy really comes together as much as I wanted to. I thought it started off promisingly enough, but that definitely a bit of a letdown.
Yeah, I'm trying to think like what were the moments that I found myself really laughing during this, and not many moments feel super memorable. I guess when he was talking about living with his parents, in Singapore during the pandemic, and she was then like talking about how his America isn't really the beacon of hope or
Yeah.
promise that it once was, really stands out. And I think his jokes about that made me laugh. I think also talking about getting canceled and how he's like, "I
Mm.
dare you to cancel me, so I have to go back to Singapore where I am like this huge star that everybody loves and I have all this money." I thought that was pretty funny. Like, and that definitely fits for his persona, which is like kind of like "fuck you" like persona. Um, but yeah, I mean, not much else really stands out too much to me. Anything that comes to mind for you?
Yeah, I mean, I think early on I liked how he was just like making fun of people that are like stupid people that are questioning the science of
Yeah,
vaccines and stuff like that. He's like, you can be book dumb and street dumb. It's not automatic that you are one smart. I thought that was kind
yeah.
of funny. Thing though is like I feel like he ended up beating a lot of stuff into the ground. Like you said, the thing about cancel me, so I have to go back to Singapore where I'm beloved, and I'm even more famous there than I am here. That is a funny way to put it, but I feel like you kind of droned on about the cancel me, even if he's doing it like in a sarcastic way. I just kind of don't want to hear comedians talk about cancellation at all. It's just like super rote material at this point. Um, Also, like I like that thing where I liked when he's like, women don't owe you anything. The problem is like the second half where he kind of goes on about his experience in the UK and how the UK comedy scene is different than the one in America.
Yeah.
I feel like he just kind of went really long on that without bringing it back around in an interesting way, and it's almost like really like specific observations that's not actually that interesting to non
Mhm.
stand-up comedians, and it was just kind of weird to dedicate so much time to that to me. So yeah, I was just kind of like left a little wanting for he's making a lot of overt references to the modern times and political and current politics and stuff, but he never brings anything around in an interesting way. Like I don't want to hear you like droning on about people criticizing comedy when they don't aren't comedians. It's like that's just like a really stupid thing to say. Like again, people only can enjoy comedy, but if they don't like it, they're uneducated about it and because they don't do it themselves. It's like when athletes criticize people that talk about their game who aren't
Yeah.
athletes. It's just like I just don't like hearing that because it's not he's not a hack, but it comes off as like a hack observation to me. It's just really annoying.
Yeah, I think overall it didn't feel as focused as his past specials, and I also think the room. So, title of it is Speakeasy. He's doing this in a smaller room, much more
Yeah.
intimate setting. He's like
It's a
standing right above
it's
people
a
at these
restaurant in New
tables.
York City specifically.
So it's I think it's not necessarily conducive to like getting the big laughs from the audience, but I
Mm,
also didn't feel like the audience in the room was responding to the jokes either as much, and maybe that also took away, or maybe that spoke to the fact that this
yeah,
just was not
not a good
not
sign.
not his best. But
No,
yeah, I think overall better days ahead for Ronnie Chang, but
right.
I think he's still someone to stay tuned into.
Yeah, this was actually shot at Chinese Tuxedo, which is a Cantonese restaurant in Chinatown in New York, and it's in a building that once housed New York's first Chinese language theater. So that kind of explains
Ah,
some of the history of that. I think it looks awesome, like the
yeah,
staging
it
of that, him
does.
kind of in the center of the restaurant room, all these tables around him. Really nice presentation. I just wished the actual material kind of lived up to that visual.